How's it going? So, look, if we have a useRef value and we increase its value by an on-click event, okay, so this function here, you will see that neither the HTML nor console log nor useEffect get triggered. That is because the value of useRef changes in the memory, but it does not change in the actual component. It's hard to explain, but I'll go step by step. Look, this here uses useState. So this can re-render the component. Okay? Now this one here uses useRef. So we click, let's say, 5 times. This value should be over 5. But since this is useRef, you don't see console log and you don't see useEffect being triggered, because this value is being changed in memory, but not in the component. So as soon as we render, you'll see that this is like 20. It's actually 36, you see? So this 36 came from memory, not the component. So it's very, very important to understand this. So let me show it to you. Let me show it to y'all. Okay, so let's create const my count. Well, let's do count via ref, useRef. Oh my god. So React, useRef, we put it as any. Actually, we probably don't even need this. And we'll put it as a primitive, which is 0, okay? So now let's create a function. Well, let's display it first, which is gonna be like this. Current. So now let's create, so it's going to, well, we know what it's going to look like, right? Now let's create a button, increase this thing here. Like so. And then we'll call it handle. Like this. And then let's put a function. So. And then we are going to count via. So we just need this value here. Dot current. And then we're gonna console log this value here. It's probably gonna get confusing, but what can I do? It's programming, it's some next level shit. Okay, look. So we're clicking, we'll be able to see that current is actually going up, because this value is coming from memory. Okay. Now, what other tool? Okay, so, but you see that on the HTML level, it's still 0. Why is that? Because the component has not been re-rendered yet. Alright? Because, so look, if we're gonna use so we put dependency, you put this as a dependency into the component, and you will see that it's not being rendered. Console log. Inside of useEffect. dot current. Well, we obviously need to put this as a current right here, like this. Okay? So now we are expecting that since count is changing, useRef should trigger because it's the dependency of the use effect, right? But we will see that it's not triggering. You see this code here is not triggering. In fact, we can put console log in here and put component did re-render. You will see that when we're increasing the count, the component is not going to be re-rendering at all. So that is not going to be triggered, you see? Okay, so now let's introduce a re-rendering system. So naturally we want to do const re-render set re-render Man, I've done it so many times now. Holy smokes. Okay, so let's create a button to re-render this mumbo jumbo. I'm just putting this for the fun of it. Ideally, we don't really give a shit about this, but whatever. So we want create a button on click. We just want to re-render, and then we want to put this in here. Like so. Okay, so look, no re-rendering, we increase the value, so it's 12, but it's not reflected, and if we click re-render, it's going to reflect now. So you see component re-rendered, and then because useState runs the re-rendering cycle, whereas the useRef does not. So, here's the critical question. What is the actual value if we were to do some kind of maths or some computations inside the component? What is the actual value of count? And the actual value is 16 in here. It's not 0. In memory it's 16 because, look, if we were to run a secondary function, which is like this, function add up, so we're gonna do this one dot current equals plus 5, okay? And we're gonna run this function before the re-rendering cycle. Yeah, so we're running this. So you see useRef. So this will tell us what is the value of the useRef, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so let's do it. We do 10 presses in here. So now we add 5 to it. And this will display. So the question is, will it display? What is going to display? It's going to display 15. Because this value has changed in memory, but not inside of the component. and all of our calculations were in memory, not really inside of the component. So look, you see, this is now 15. So do you understand? Now we press it twice, we added 2 5s, so it's going to be what, 25. We re-render, it's going to be 25. You see? So although physically you cannot see it, because all of that stuff is happening inside of the memory, not inside of the component. And that's kind of, you need to remember that. So useRef is somewhat useful, but ideally you probably... But if you want to avoid a lot of re-renders, you can use useRef for mathematical computations. But remember that you will then have to have some kind of a hook that will re-render everything at the end, because useRef does not... It only works in memory, it doesn't work inside of the component. Alright? So, that's about it. Take care, bye-bye.